Hey Believers, this is SUPERZOMGBBQ, and today we have got to talk about something that could be Really, dog? Sorry, someone wanted to say hello. You licked my ear enough now. Thanks. Stromander's only just come back and you're stealing the spotlight from him. Aren't you, Sebastian? We potentially have had a load of hints towards a massive reveal going forward, which could be the hint that we will be receiving a brand new tier, and we're going to talk about all of this right now. And it's actually quite exciting, especially considering this is one of the biggest things that, besides bad rewards in Last Man Standing and other things like trading and a few other features, this is one of the biggest things and biggest gripes that people have about SuperCard, is that there's a big long wait between WrestleMania tier and SummerSlam tier, and there is a possibility that they may be trying to fix that. Take this with a pinch of salt, but there is strong evidence, and I wouldn't be making this video if there wasn't, that we will be seeing something very soon. But before we get into all the meaty parts of this upload, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on whilst you're there. Also want to apologise to anyone who's not been able to access my channel over the last couple of days. I've been switching a few things across on YouTube and they don't make things particularly easy. But shout out to RV over at the YouTube creator support team for sorting it out for me. So here we go. We're going to talk about why there very well could be a new tier coming around Money in the Bank time. Well, it's been no secret to WWE, to anyone who's been watching WWE. There's been lots of backstage talk, if you're involved in WWE, and dirt sheet talking, that apparently Money in the Bank was going to be, in fact, one of the main focuses for moving the brands back together. Especially one of the biggest reasons why Backlash actually became a dual brand pay-per-view, and all the pay-per-views became dual branded going forward. That's because every year, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, you also have SummerSlam, and then Survivor Series all have a big feeling to it. SummerSlam is the party of the summer. Survivor Series, which is a long-standing WWE event. You have the Royal Rumble, which is the 30-man Royal Rumble match. And then you got the road to WrestleMania, WrestleMania being the showcase of the Immortals. Well, now it seems that they are going to be using another event to kind of fill the gap in between that and SummerSlam. And that is going to be Money in the Bank. It's a big event. We're having Raw vs SmackDown ladder matches, Raw vs SmackDown matches. We're having Ronda Rousey's first Women's Championship match. It's going to be a big event. There may be no better time to release a brand new tier into WWE SuperCard, and this is what we're going to be discussing today. So, before we get started, I just want to make it very clear, I am not asking for a new tier to come into the game. I'm happy with WrestleMania 34 tier, but there's been a lot of hints that this is going to happen, and we're going to talk about them. And the biggest one is the fact that Throwbacks, Fusions, or Hall of Fames were announced last week. If you don't know, the throwback packs have been released into the store, and then the Fusions will be revealed this week, and the Hall of Fames revealed the following week. And the Bank goes on the WWE Network and is streaming live on the 17th of June. Now that is a month away, and the reason why, and I'm going to show some evidence for this, is because usually if Throwbacks, Hall of Fames, or Fusions are announced, it's usually about 4 to 6 weeks from that point that a brand new tier then becomes available in the game. Fusions don't really become important for that long, and this has been the case ever since Season 1. And what caught a lot of people off guard is that they did this almost a month and a half earlier than they did it last year in WrestleMania 33 tier, which, unless they've got something else planned, like a big update or a big change, which is going to change the way we play SuperCard, new events, etc., then this could very much be a sign of a brand new tier. Perhaps a Money in the Bank tier, as seen by this amazing custom Seth Rollins and Rusev made by the amazing Napoli Fan, which I spoke to him about yesterday. And in fairness, I'd kind of floated this idea ever since they got announced, because I was expecting the Fusions to come out at last. But actually, the fact they're coming out this week is maybe a bit of a sign that we might be getting something a little bit sooner than that. So to look at the facts, we need to go back to Season 1. and the first time that fusions were announced and released for WrestleMania tier, and these were released around about 4 to 5 weeks before the end of Season 1, before we went into Season 2, and we all know how well that went, don't we? There wasn't much structure until we got to WrestleMania tier. Then they released the fusions up until Survivor tier, for some reason, in WrestleMania tier. I still don't understand to this day when I did that. But then they released the WrestleMania tier fusions around about the 20th of July last year, or 2 years ago, sorry. Then they released, about 4 weeks later, the SummerSlam tier, which we know now as being normal SummerSlam tier, the SummerSlam 16, whatever you want to call it. Then, if we go even further, before Season 3's release, we saw SummerSlam fusions come into the game in October, and Season 3 then release in November. Fast forward, and this is the only bogey in this kind of conversation, this theory that we're having, and that is that the throwback packs in Season 3 came out in December 2016, but then again, they also did for December 2015 for Season 2. It's only Season 4 which has really broken that trend, and they brought out the Winter Fusions instead, which is almost pretty much exactly the same thing. Fast forward from those throwbacks to the fusions in Season 3, and we got those in February of 2017, about mid-February, just after Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, etc, etc, etc. On to WrestleMania 33 tier, which dropped actually very surprisingly early, mid-March. Again, 4 to 5 weeks away. Then we got the WrestleMania 33. This is the earliest it's ever happened. The fusions and the throwbacks came in around about June, and this has coincided with the release of the Hall of Fame cards, which is about 2 months away from when they released SummerSlam 17 tier, which is about August the 16th. Do I think they're going to wait that long this time? Probably not, but the fact that they've announced them in May and not June is probably the biggest sign. If something is coming, this is probably the biggest indication that it's coming. Into SummerSlam 17 tier, and around about October time, we got fusions, throwbacks, and Hall of Fame cards. And all of this information can be found on SuperCard's website, which I'll put into the comments section below. Season 4 then hit on the 15th of November, and we had Winter Fusions in the winter, December, obviously, because of Winter Fusions. But, you know, I say some stupid stuff sometimes. And then fusions and throwbacks are released on February 28th, Hall of Fame being released on March the 7th, and then WrestleMania 34 tier being released at the end of March. So we're almost about 2 months into WrestleMania 34 tier. Now, it wouldn't be an absolute shock if they decide to release a brand new tier, and the reason why is because one of the biggest complaints of Season 3 last year and Season 2 beforehand was that the WrestleMania, or the period between WrestleMania and SummerSlam tier, was just too long. 5 months, sometimes as long as nearly 6 months, we were waiting for a brand new tier, and it was getting a little bit stale. They were trying to release as much as they could, and with the inclusion of Last Man Standing, more event cards, flash events already in this tier, it just makes more sense that they'd start to maybe think about releasing something new to keep people interested going into Money in the Bank and beyond. And now we have the throwbacks coming out, which they've already released. The fusions released today, and Hall of Fame is released next week. And the fusions are the key in all this, because the throwbacks have been released before, and the Hall of Fame has been released before, but usually the fusions are the biggest key that we're going to get something brand new in terms of cards or in terms of stats. Now, given the fact that the first Last Man Standing cards have been overpowered as hell, plus there are a lot of discussions that this year may be the year that SuperCard do a big reset on the game, that releasing a brand new Money in the Bank tier would keep interest in the game going. Of course, we have no confirmation of that, so I don't want anyone in the comment section going, "Oh my god, I don't know what to do, my legs, you're just saying it might happen, it might not. Chill." But 4 weeks away from the fusions, which is today's date, just so happens to be when the Wednesday of Money in the Bank is, which would then mean, with Money in the Bank also resetting the following week, that a Money in the Bank tier may be coming. Now, this could all be a big ruse for some other big new mode or big new feature coming into the game, but with cards being more and more overpowered, people rising up tiers faster. But you're probably thinking to yourself, this is all very coincidental, And it's possible it could happen. It's also very possible this could be a massive, oversight. I could be looking into it too much. However, my NBA 2K18, also a game developed and run by Cat Daddy, has had a tier released at the beginning of March, and now is expecting a brand new tier released again today, which is around about the same time frame, maybe a little bit less because they have different seasons and different dates and releases, etc. That we have between WrestleMania and potential Money in the Bank tier. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. It's one of the biggest criticisms they've had is that the tier gets stale. They've released it really early this time, and towards the end of last WrestleMania tier, things got really stale. In fact, the WrestleMania, I don't know which one was worse, WrestleMania 2016 or WrestleMania 2017. Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. But I wouldn't be against them releasing a brand new tier. Would I spend money on packs for that? I'm not really that sure. I don't think I would, to be honest. I'd probably just sit back and chill, because if I know a new tier is going to be coming out like weeks afterwards, why would you go crazy on the packs? Maybe this is the reason why Last Man Standing has been the way it has been. And this throws up a very big question. Loads of people have just dropped Money in the Bank contracts on getting this Carmella card, and now suddenly it's not good enough anymore. You're going to have to get new Money in the Bank cards. Do you think they would release brand new Money in the Bank cards, if that makes sense, in Money in the Bank next? That's one other question is, would they also, if they did do this, would they have to rename Money in the Bank? Now, I came up with an idea potentially for Reign the Ring instead of Money in the Bank, and then Money in the Bank be a tier instead, because Reign the Rink, just to clarify, I said Rink there, is a game mode in another Cat Daddy, or original Cat Daddy game, which is no longer, I believe, is no longer being run by them, called NHL SuperCard. And NHL SuperCard is closing its doors, it's kaput, by the end of this year. And as a result, I would imagine that they may want to just borrow a couple of the things that go in NHL SuperCard, and if they bring it across to here, they could call it Reign the Ring, which would be awesome, or they could just change it completely, maybe quite a ladder match, and they could change the contracts to title belts or something else. Or, there is every possibility they could just keep it the same and make it just Money in the Bank, and you get a Money in the Bank tier. They could call it something completely different, a money tier. Isn't every tier a money tier for Cat Daddy? Thoughts in the comment section. The evidence is very, very strong toward this being a thing. But if you've got anything that says otherwise, let me know in the comment section below. I have been SuperZombGBBQ. You have been awesome. Make sure you smash the like button on this video if you like what you saw, and you subscribe to the channel. And whilst you're there, make sure you turn notifications on. You don't miss a dang thing. Until next time, though, when we talk about the Fusions and the brand new event card that's coming out this week, one last thing, and that is two.
We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness.